Controllers have seen many different styles throughout the years. The bog standard Brimstone with the simple 3 smokes, stim and molly, and strong ult with limited range. Omen, the original aggressive controller with great supportive dueling utility, but the smokes not as strong as Brimstone. Astra, a more passive based controller, can help the team all across the map, but requires a lot of creativity to be less predictable. Viper, the strongest controller in the game, blocks large line of sights, is great for stalling, and is a nightmare to deal with when playing on defense, and is pretty much a role of its own. Harbor, hard to play well, but a double smokes comp that got popularized by Loud. Harbor's walls became very popular for taking space. The controller role has seen a lot of different variety and flexibility, but the new addition to this star-studded roster, Clove, boasts a whole new kit, which is far from any other controller we have seen. Flashy in nature, but do they have a place in this competitive role group? Let's find out. First, let's take a look at their kit. Pick Me Up works by after you get a kill or an assist, you can activate it. This will give you a temporary 100 HP max heal, and also a temporary speed buff. Unlike Rain Heal, you don't need to be in line of sight of the body. Medal is a throwable projectile that works on a timer of 1.3 seconds. Once the timer is up, the projectile explodes in a sphere with a 6 meter radius. Anyone caught in the radius is taken down by a 90 HP in 0.75 seconds. After 1.75 seconds, the HP is restored. Clove's signature ruse is their smokes. 2 hollow smokes that last 13.5 seconds and are restocked every 30 seconds. Clove's iPad has a range of 55 meters when alive. Why did I specify alive? Well, Clove's unique ability as a controller is that they can still smoke whilst they're dead, with a reduced range of 42.5 meters. This ability is the only current ability that can be done while spectating. Not Dead Yet, which is Clove's ultimate, is also very interesting. Upon dying, you have a 1.5 second window to activate your ult. Once activated, you are brought back to life and are temporarily invulnerable for 2 seconds to get to cover. After this, you have 12 seconds to get a kill or an assist. If you don't, you will die. So it's clear that Clove is a very aggressive agent. This was even the plan for the developers, as there was a problem with controllers in Ranked, where players would either not want to play the role at all, or they would play too aggressive on the controller role and give smokes away for free, which is one of the most important pieces of utility. So Clove's kit, and especially their ability to steal smoke after death, is a clear solution to this problem. Clove is a brawling agent. They have a heal and a speed boost available upon getting a kill, and with the dead smokes, they have some space to take risks. Clove is clearly a momentum based agent. The 7 ult points means you can get their ult multiple times a half. The ult cannot be used in a 1v1 unless you have the bomb down on attack. This is very strong, as it allows you to essentially take 2 peeks on the tap of the defuse. In fact, the ultimate is really at its best in post-plant scenarios, as it acts as essentially stall utility. The smokes are also placed on the ground incredibly fast compared to agents like Omen, which makes sense due to them having a reduced range. Medal is great for when you know where the enemies are in a reasonably close range, in order to capitalise off the reduced health. For example here, running up lane on Ascent and throwing Medal backside. Medal also reduces the likelihood that the player will peek due to their reduced health, meaning there's a high chance if they peek they will get killed. If you die on the site the bomb is planted on attack and defense, this is where the dead smokes are the most useful. The ability to re-smoke choke points, for example A main on Ascent, is clearly very, very strong. So here are Clove's key strengths. Clove is great for players that are mechanically gifted and when players are feeling the game. Allows players to take risks on controller without completely removing smokes out of the game. Medal is very strong when used in the right situations. Clove's smokes are very good for fast reactive hits, both to counter them on defense and do them on attack. Now Clove has some pretty big downsides. Anchoring and stalling is clearly not as strong as other controllers. Viper has their orbs and mollies to stall. Omen has their flash and is great for anchoring as well as TPs for repositioning. Brimstone has his molly and its smokes are also very good to play around. Astra has pulls and stuns, again great for stalling. The only other controller which is beaten by Clove at anchoring is Harbour. You could say his slowing cascade is pretty good, but it's okay. Clove for anchoring is very hard. The only real util that allows for stall is Medal. However, the timer means you have to really time it well, or they will just get past it. Also, the fact that it's a projectile means that it gives away your location if the enemies can see where you've thrown it from. Clove looks to be in direct competition to Omen, the style of smokes, with a 2 max restock, and the aggressive plays you can make with both of them. However, when comparing kits in terms of helping the team, Omen might just be better. The smokes have a much bigger range. The Omen flash can be used in many different scenarios, anchoring as stated before, helping on rotating for the side players, and for both executing and retaking sites, without having to move out of cover. Omen's TPs can also be used to enter into site, and are great for quick repositioning. Comparing Medal to Omen Flash as a supportive element, it's clear that Omen Flash is just better. Due to the timer, it's harder to even throw lineup with Medal. It's clear that Medal works best in chokes points, however it's not as flexible as the Omen Flash. The reduced range means that it's far easier to place solo smokes on Omen, which moves on to my next point. Clove clearly has struggles when it comes to being a solo smoker. In order to quickly smoke both choke points on defense, it's often you have to position yourself in between each site, which is much like Brimstone. However, you have 2 smokes at a time compared to Brimstone's 3. Furthermore, when you look at larger maps such as Lotus and Breeze, playing Clove is extremely suffocating on solo smokes. It's clear that Clove can only play certain maps as solo smoke. So, how about double smokes? Well, it depends on the playstyle that is being played. Viper and Clove could work on a map like Lotus, where you use Viper as a standard anchor towards various sites, especially C, and Clove as a floating agent, ready to smoke the other 2 sites, and Medal to be used upon the enemy's execution. Attack is going to be harder, as with Omen and Viper, taking rubble is easier, as Omen can TP, where Clove can't. So when you're playing Viper Clove, you probably are going to have to play a much slower playstyle. Now, I haven't really talked about the downsides of the ult yet. Upon going for an entry and dying, and then ulting, this just forces you to make a move. The enemies now know that you're going to push, so they either can just play passive, or just hold the smoke. This is the case for many different scenarios where Clove ult is used. It forces you to make a play, and create space in order to get impact with it. There are still unknowns when it comes to Clove. The current big unknown is if Clove is viable for pro play. Currently, they don't really fit in the meta, considering Omen is very strong right now. However, if Omen gets nerfed, we might start to see Clove in pro play a lot more. When Clove comes available in VCT in the upcoming weeks, it will be interesting to see if anyone will play them, or if it will be another deadlock ISO situation, and we will rarely see them. Clove could be changed for Omen on most maps for double smokes, but here's my opinion for Clove on solo smokes. So this is a tier list of the maps. Sunset is at S, Split at A, Ascent and Bind at B, Icebox and Lotus at C, and of course Breeze at D. So in conclusion, Clove is clearly a very strong agent in ranked, and can actually have a lot more impact, such as other aggressive agents as Reyna. However, it's hard to see if Clove will be played over agents such as Omen in the future. If one team would play Clove, my money is certainly on PaperX. So thank you for watching my video all the way through. If you enjoyed it, here are some of my other videos.